you find out who did it, they owe you that debt, they owe you that laptop. It's basically forgiveness is saying, "You don't owe me the laptop anymore." And that's hard to do because it's a real debt,
Yeah.
it's a real, like, "No, you owe me something."
Mhm.
And sometimes what you feel like you're owed is an apology, which may never come, and so
Yeah.
forgiveness is saying, whether they are remorseful about what they did to me or not, I'm letting go of the debt. I'm letting go of this waiting, for what
Mhm.
I'm owed
Right.
because it may never come, and that's hard.
Yeah, one of the I looked up I don't know why. I've just been really trying to figure the world out in a deeper sense, and I wanted to see, like, okay, what is forgiveness? And one of the things that came up is that forgiveness is not granted because a person deserves to be forgiven. It
Right.
is a deliberate act of love, mercy, and grace. And I
Yes.
thought that's the perfect way of putting it because, like, in a lot of ways, you're paying the debt. As
Yeah.
a like, emotionally, you're paying the debt. Obviously, or I guess in the sense of the laptop, like, eventually you'll just buy another laptop because, you know, that person's not gonna do it and you need a laptop. And I just thought, well, it's just so perfectly put because I think that people deserve forgiveness, and I think people deserve to be at peace with themselves, and harboring resentment just it doesn't help anybody. It'll just
Yeah.
make you angry, and I saw something else too, is, like, being resentful it's like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die.
Yes.
I thought,
It's
"Man, what."
exactly
Yeah, I was like, how perfect,
it's
and so forgiveness is the antidote to that, um,
is you
is
stop drinking the poison. Yeah, I'll say this too, because I'm immediately thinking of my friend Josh Slocum from the, Disaffected podcast,
mhm,
and, his position on forgiveness that he's made publicly is basically, not everybody can forgive um, and that you shouldn't judge people for not forgiving. For example, if his mother's abusive, and if you have an abusive parent, and, you know, the way I view it is this, I I think personally it would be good for me to forgive, even an abusive parent, for example. But, it takes a while to get there, and so if I meet someone who's, like, tells me they can't forgive and they won't forgive somebody for something horrible, I don't why would I judge them? I'm dealing with my own level of forgiveness or my own path to forgiveness, so I just wanted to make that point of, like, it's not a judgment on people who haven't forgiven or choose not to forgive. It's not a judgment on them at all. I'm just talking about what I think is good for me to
mhm,
try to do, and, I've succeeded with some people, but there are others I've not. That's what I found is it's a path for each one,
yeah,
and there are others I'm still holding on to that resentment. And but I'm trying. One of the things I do is my pastor had me do this, is pray for the person and not I can't do I can't do a BS prayer that's like, "I pray that this person stops being such a bitch," like, you can't do that.
yeah,
Like or like, "I pray that they come to ruin." Like, you can't do that.
yeah,
It's gotta be a real prayer, and the way that I have found, maybe somebody has a better way to do it, but the way I've found to do it that 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 works right now, it doesn't mean it works as in "Yay, I've forgiven." It just means the more I do this, the less that resentment is. It seems to be chipping away at it.
yeah,
And so what I do is I picture them in light and I pray for God to surround them in truth and light and love. I say their name and I move on.